right, coming back with the AvaLANche tournament, we have the first semifinal game that we're moving on. Now, we do have Team Northern Shadows and Celerity taking their third game, but we're moving forward to, right now, the seeded first and the fourth seeded top team. So these are very high-ranking teams that placed very well in the tournaments, going up against one another for the first semifinal game. So we have
and we wanted to get to the semifinal game as quickly as possible. So
yes.
We wanted to get to this because these two teams, they solidly defeated their opponents. They both went 2-0 in their games, and according to the highlights of the games that we have, and we will probably be showing on the website, that is www.907gamers.com, we have seen some excellent play from both of these teams. They are very highly ranked. We Dem Boys is a ranked team that participates in tournaments and competition outside of Alaskan-based organizations such as ourselves. And Artifacts is also a team with a lot of talented players. They have a diamond player who is, I think he's one of the best I've ever seen. He's definitely top notch, and this game is going to be excellent considering it's the very first semifinal game. So get hyped, gamers. We're going to see something amazing here if you pay attention, so stay tuned.
Absolutely. So going through the picks and bans, we see the Lee Sin being a huge popular ban. Lee Sin is one of the premier junglers that We Dem Boys uses with the name going under the yellow party hat, or did he just change it? No, it's SB Sky. SB Sky being JU, and he's being the main jungler for We Dem Boys.
Now, just for reference for ourselves and for the viewers at home, we have on the purple side, we have We Dem Boys. They are the team, as I mentioned, that are the ranked team outside of this tournament. So they were not formed just for this tournament. They showed up, and they're in full force. And on the blue side, we have Team Artifacts. And they are coming. They are going to bring the thunder as well. Now, on the purple side, as I said, the We Dem Boys, that Thresh pick is going to be instrumental for champion Materia. That's known to be his #1 pick in all tournament and ranked play, and he is known to be a talented Thresh player. So look forward to that on the bot lane. Absolutely.
Before we actually started the tournament, when there was talk outside in the lobby between the players, he has actually been known to carry games. They say that the one thing that's keeping We Dem Boys very, very strong and very consistent in these games is their high-level support. And also, matching in with that, we see a Jinx for a possibility going up against the Graves. Now, Jinx being a very good pick for constant poke, range, and also just kind of her ramp ability with her passive.
Scaling.
Yeah, scaling. If she gets like the slightest of assist in a short period of time after a kill goes down, she gets a huge movement speed buff, which she's just able to rampage forward and just keep the damage going on all levels of the enemy team.
That, coupled with her ability to strike across the map with an accurately placed super mega death rocket, that is a powerful ability when used correctly, and it can definitely turn the tide. Or just at a short range, just add that short range cap on a nice combo, get that double or triple kill. That's definitely something that will pop her passive and will allow her to scale so well. She's going to be a threat, especially with a Thresh who knows what he's doing.
And so another thing that we actually see going down is the Ahri pick. Ahri being a very, very strong mage pick across the board in all levels of play for the mid lane. Now, an interesting pick right now that we don't know if it's belonging to the top lane or to the jungle is the Nidalee spot from We Dem Boys. Vi most likely going into the jungle for Artifacts. But Nidalee is one of those interesting picks after her rework and after her past nerfs, buffs, whatever you'd call them. She can be placed in lane, mid, or top as a high AP mage. Also kind of burst assassin, but also from the jungle, which is very surprising. So we don't know until the last pick, seeing where she's actually going to belong. Now, Cassiopeia also can be played top or mid, so we don't know as far as if that's belonging to the top lane with teleport or if it's going to the mid lane.
Either way, Cassiopeia, I think she's definitely one of my favorite champions. She's so much fun to play. She has that ability to push lane super hard, and with her rework recently, her passive turns her into a late game monster.
Yes, her scaling is definitely there. Okay, with the Talon for a possible lock-in, Talon would most likely be their mid, where Cassiopeia being the top lane.
Talon is a powerful pick too.
Talon, I think that pick is mainly supposed to be a counter. Artifacts is looking to counter out the mid lane for We Dem Boys Ahri, because Ahri, if she throws her abilities, which a lot of Ahris do, they throw the E and the Q together in a very, very accurate skill shot as far as hoping to land both one after another to kind of CC and burst down the enemy opponent. Now, a Talon, on the other hand, can very quickly use his Cutthroat to where he just becomes behind the enemy target, which is at the exact same range as Ahri's E and Q, so he can completely nullify Ahri's combo.
Now on the purple We Damn Boys side, we see that Renekton pick. Now what I'm thinking is perhaps Renekton might be going top and Nidalee might be going jungle?
Yes, that is what we're probably going to be seeing. It can happen. You can have that Renekton jungle. He doesn't need blue buffs. He has his cooldowns. He has sustain. He has AoE. So I've seen it in high levels of play where you do have a Renekton, but most likely you're going to see him going up against the top, trying his best to kind of man mode up, farm out. Oh, maybe a Mundo.
Yeah, that's definitely, I think that might actually be a jungle pick because Mundo is an excellent jungler. Now Champion Spisky, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, he's Diamond 3, so he could probably do something. He probably has experience with those high-level, difficult to master, but rewarding
That's
picks.
a Nidalee jungle. That's a Nidalee jungle right there.
That is.
I love it. I love it. After seeing Nidalee's new rework, it's one thing that I've picked up in the jungle and top and mid is just working with Nidalee's strengths and weaknesses. But the Mundo top, I feel like it's a really, really good pick against the Cassiopeia because he's able to just sit back, farm, tank up, last hit with some Qs, not worry about a full-on engage. He has the sustain to kind of match up against him and just become that kind of beast that Mundo becomes, where he's just tanky. Mundo goes where he pleases.
Hey, that is a true story.
He throws cleavers.
He will, and he's got a lot of ability to chase you down. He will catch you, and he'll probably kill you.
Right, and especially if he's one of the Mundos that, against Cassiopeia, he's probably going to be rushing Spirit Visage, so he has his bonus percentage health that is going to be regenning. He's going to have bonus from this Spirit Visage, and then he also has his ultimate. And on top of that, he has the MR to go up against Cassiopeia. So it's a very, very strong kind of a counter pick. Even though he's a melee pick, it's a very good pick in general because Cassiopeia will have to push and last hit mostly, and also harass using her mana, where Mundo doesn't.
Mundo's going to put significant pressure wherever he goes. That teleport is going to be instrumental in going for those crazy ganks where he might teleport to a ward behind enemy lines and come from behind. And once you see him, it's already too late because he will cleaver you, slow you. He'll catch you with that AoE fire thing. I forget what it's called off the top of my head, I'm afraid. And the hurdy bits. And he will definitely ult you and catch you.
Well, the thing is, with Mundo, I mean, it's the reason why it's such a pick that you don't really see too often, but it's good in any level of play. You see it in LCS, you see it in Diamond, you see it in Bronze. You see Mundo being picked up randomly by characters or summoners that play him just because with his cleaver, you can't go wrong. You miss a cleaver, big deal. It's on like a 4 or 5 second cooldown at late game, and if it hits 1, it's a percentage of current health. So if you're a tank, it's gonna hurt. If you're a squishy, it's gonna hurt. And if he slows you, and if he's good, and if they're chasing you down, he's gonna land cleaver after cleaver after cleaver. And even if he's faster and he has more mobility than his team, eventually those slows, his team will catch up. And with like a Nidalee Spear, if he throws a cleaver and it's slowed, and then they get hit by Nidalee Spear, she Cougar forms, pounces. If it's an Ahri, if they're slowed, she feels confident, she rushes in with her Fox Fires, her Spirit Fires, and her Spirit Rush, and just kind of goes in. EQ combos with her taunt and her ball. It's just everything that is just able to follow up.
I think, yeah, I really am pleased with that Mundo choice. And on the artifact side, I like the Janna support. That's a neat pick for support. I think that she is terminally underrated at support.
Janna is rated one of the top tier supporters because not only does she provide extra damage to her AD carry because she shields them, not only protecting them from incoming damage, but also that shield gives the AD carry more damage, which on Graves can be very, very serious. And she also provides good engage, good catch with her movement speed, and good disengage. I mean, if that Mundo's coming in and they're trying to land cleavers or Nidalee's trying to pounce in, she can throw a tornado. Or if the entire team's getting collapsed upon, she can, do her monsoon and brush everyone away and just kind of quickly healing the teammates that are around her. So it's definitely a very good support pick.
I'm really looking forward to her trying to use her ult, her monsoon, to use it as well as a disengage and as a heal. She might also use it as a positioning tool to enable her to split the enemy team, to flash in, activate it, split the enemy team, and all of a sudden it's a 2v5, 3v5. That'll be a devastating combination.
Absolutely. See, the big difference in the two teams is they both have burst, they both have pick, and they also both have like engage and follow-up and chasing. They both have the movement speed follow-up, they both have the gap closers, they both have the lockdown and the single target damage to really catch around anyone's mistakes, which is going to be really exciting in a higher elo game. You're going to see lots of warding going down, you're going to see lots of ward clearing, you're going to see a lot of fast action that's going around. And with that difference that it's going to make, look at those beautiful diamond borders.
So this is going to be a high-level game.
All right, so here we go, into the rift.
This is going to be a high-level game. There are multiple diamond players on both sides. Now, as you were saying earlier, ELO doesn't necessarily indicate level of play.
As a team, especially.
Yeah, I can't argue that point enough with people who I'm talking to as well. But the one thing that's definitely going to make the difference here, I think, we see a game pause right now. We're going to find out what's going on.
There might be some issues with loading in.
Oh, okay. But,
either team disconnect or reconnect.
Mm-hmm.
Bug splats in the loading screen.
League of Legends, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, we are on a 3-minute delay, so they could be playing right now. We're just looking to pick up after they've already connected.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it looks like it's going to be resumed.
All right, play will resume in 1 second. All right.
Now, as far as matchups goes, I feel like top lane is going to be very passive between farming and pushing the lane with the Mundo and the Cassiopeia, maybe a lot of Mundo farming at tower. The lane matchup that I am most excited to see is this Talon against Ahri. These are two champions that I love to play. I've had a lot of games in, high kill-death ratios, and they're just burst assassins in every level of play. If you get 1 kill ahead on Ahri, where you have a little bit of a damage significance, or the same on Talon, it can create such an upswing. And here we go. We have We Dem Boys moving in for a level 1 invade. 5-man grouped up there looking to make a pick.
And they are
no wards in the bot side. No wards on the bot side. Vi actually starting blue, which is very interesting.
Oh, boy.
It looks like we might have a lane swap. First time that we've seen this in the tournament. It looks like their bot lane might go top, and their Cassiopeia is going to farm out bot lane, which she is ranged, so she can do that safely against 2v1.
It looks like they might be deciding against it.
Well, they don't see anybody, so there's no reason to stick around just yet.
Yeah, Vi's obviously starting on the upper side, the northern side of the map, so they're obviously going back and resuming their previous positions. That's a smart move on their part.
Absolutely. So it looks like, it being an introverted start, it looks like both players are sending their duo lane, their typical bot lane, AD carry and support, up to the top.
And both teams are? That's unprecedented, I would think. Certainly in this tournament.
You do see it in higher levels of play, because what one team wants to do, especially depending where the jungler starts, Nidalee in this case, she has the attack speed buff with her heal. So at this point, she might just want to clear camps, and if the lane is warded, she might get the successful gank off, but if they don't, she might just stick in lane, heal the Jinx, push the tower, and maybe take an early tower. We might see a very early tower going down in the top lane. And it could be the same for Vi. Maybe Vi comes up top lane after Nidalee is gone and in the clear, and with her E being able to reset 2 different hits, them and Graves and Janna, with once again the shield going down and the auto attack buff, being able to push down towers quickly.
It looks like Artifacts was thinking the same thing with regards to that lane swap.
Right. So Nidalee putting a trap out, kind of watching out for the red buff before starting blue.
All right, we're seeing Ahri pushing up on that Talon. Talon having a hard time without any sort of engage ability. Talon's having a hard time against the range Ahri, seeing as he's melee.
Right. Ahri does have a lot of significant sort of poke and harass in the early game, where Talon's W, where he sweeps his blades, is a little bit more higher cooldown than Ahri's Q, so his rake is not necessarily successful in harassing and farming, and because he is melee and Ahri is ranged, he would rather safely farm with the rake rather than put it out and just try to auto
Nidalee coming for the potential gank.
Oh, Thresh missing the hook. Nidalee still sticking around. No wards in the top lane.
Oh, and there she
Landing the
goes.
spear. Is she going to be able to pounce in? She pounces in. Gets the cougar jump.
Nice zap from Jinx. Well-aimed skill shot.
Right, going back and farming. One of the interesting things is that Nidalee started Gromp, invade on Vi's red, but then actually skipped blue entirely. I feel like she might have been threatened that because Vi wasn't there and because red was still up, that Vi might have went there for the invade and might have taken her blue, so she was more hurried to rush there.
And now Vi's going to capitalize on her blue and is taking Nidalee's blue as we speak.
Right. And that actually puts Nidalee in quite a deficit. It's going to be really interesting to watch how Nidalee kind of reacts to this, if she's going to be sitting in lanes trying to soak up EXP, because she's definitely going to be behind. Vi leaving a minion in the jungle is actually going to create a huge difference, because Nidalee just has a very minuscule experience from the blue buff farm, and she has to go there, clear it, and it being a little while. Vi being level 3, Ari having to burn the flash.
Ari hit the charm, but she wasn't able to capitalize.
Right.
And yeah, Nidalee's going to have to clear that way, going to have to clear that blue buff and wait for it to respawn, and that's going to, I really feel bad for Nidalee right now, to be honest, because she's definitely in a poor position. I'm curious as to why she
right
didn't
there
go for
was
that
a
blue.
clear example of where I was showing Talon is such a direct counter to Ari, is if it is well timed enough, if he has the experience, the second Ari throws out that Q or that E, he just cut throats. Dodged it completely and was just able to blow up that Ari.
And
So
Talon takes first blood.
he does. That's going to give him a very good bonus and a good start. Oh, hook going out on the Graves. Jinx putting
Great
out the
hook.
harass. Good quick draw before the flay comes in. Jinx putting in some good harass and also farm. Now we're seeing for most part the teams being fairly even in farm. The AD carry, Jinx looks to be 6, 7 ahead roughly in the lane. Even with Talon going down, already is only 1 ahead. And in the top lane, Cassiopeia just 3 ahead, but having a larger minion wave, so Mundo could definitely catch it up.
Significant damage. Look at her go.
Cassiopeia spacing out her Q and her E with the poison to establish the Qs, because it goes on an immediate cooldown if it's a poison target. Just really laying out that heavy sustain and burst damage. I mean, it's just on there. As long as it's poison, she's throwing out the E's.
And those do significant damage over time, especially. And they just that's just a quick rather than a damage over time. That's a very quick source of burst, because as you said, that puts it on a cooldown, such a short cooldown that she can push the lane out, capitalize on that, and farm because he's forced to go back to his tower.
Right. And it's very interesting to see that Cassiopeia is one of those champions that she chooses which she wants to ramp up first, depending if she wants burst or if she wants pushing ability. So if she wants to push this Mundo out like entirely to make last hitting a little bit more difficult for him, she might max Q. Or if she wants the burst damage to where she just has her Q down and is landing, Twin Fang after Twin Fang after Twin Fang, she'll want to max her E first. So it's really interesting to see how she's going to level up upon, the strengths of her early game and laning phase.
Definitely. We're still seeing a fairly close game with regards to gold and CS on either side.
Now Vi doing a very interesting invade because she did not know if red team had the river warded, which Jinx she just now warded. She used her vault breaker to get through the Baron pit. So red team, Weedem Boys pushing very, very aggressively against artifacts.
And Vi's coming around
with
from
Vi's
their
coming in
try.
right now to lock down. The Lantern goes out, and what a save!
Oh,
what a
perfect.
save! And once again, that shows that Thresh is such a strong support from Materia. Look at that, they're turning on the jungler. Nida lands the Q, and she can be able to, she flashes. Does she get the pounce? Does not pounce in because it's
Weedem Boys chooses not to engage. because
right.
of Q
Cassiopeia has the
teleport.
burst down. Cassiopeia with the ult, the heal going down,
Ooh,
and
that
eventually
auto attack.
Janna getting the hit.
Oh,
Mundo
but
with the
Mundo.
counter. He has his ult up. He's got the revive. Is he going in? Thresh missing the, and he gets the last hit on the Janna.
Good plays on both sides. That was an excellent counter. Mundo was right there in position to capitalize on them overextending. Here comes Talon, but he's not going to be able to do enough damage in time.
The Dark Passage being very, very strong on that Materia Thresh, just being in great placement to help his team. Now, one thing to note there is just look at the summoners that went down that fight. We have a total of, both exhausts going down, both flashes on the AD carries. Janna's flash went down. Mundo's flash is down, Nidalee's flash is down, Vi's flash is down, Cassiopeia's flash is down. The only flashes on the map are the Threshes and the Talons. It just shows that that was really an all-in fight where they were trying to get the kills, but only 2 were actually found.
And now we see both ADs coming back, both AD carries coming back with those BF swords. So they're going to do significant damage to each other once they get back to lane.
Both having an assist, so not one having a general lead over the other one.
Looks like we're seeing a lane switch. Jinx and Graves both going bot lane. Mundo and Cassiopeia have switched and gone top lane now.
Yeah, I feel like there was more of a choice. In high elo games, you see it to where they'll actually switch back after the early game, because if in the case that either team sent up their actual top laner up to the top lane at the start of the match, by now at the 8-minute mark, they would have hoped to have already had the tower down. So because they both had the AD carries up, there was no point to actually push the tower and take it down. They say, hey, let's go get this back. Let's get back to our original lanes. We're not taking any early towers. Let's go where we belong. Because having that second person down there includes and also gives the bonus. Oh,
Totally missed that charm.
whiffed
Ari.
it.
Ari just totally, I don't think she hit any of her skill shots at that point,
No,
did she?
only her W, which has the AoE, which actually focuses down the champions as long as they're in proximity. Missing the taunt.
And
again.
Nidalee's right there waiting for Talon to do something, and here she comes.
Coming to assist the mid lane. Mid lane definitely at a deficit, but Talon being
Misses
very
her spear.
strong. But as I was saying, in the games, in the event where neither the top lane was actually taken down, you want the duo lane, to be in the bot lane, because at this point in the game is where you'd see the first dragon going down. And you want the more championships to be there for the more abilities, the more auto attacks, the more being able to tank and support and heal.
It looks like we're going to see a fight right around Dragon.
Right, the blue buff is actually up by Nidalee, so she's wanting to kind of get back in and get the buff. Maybe secure it, pass it to the Ari.
Ooh, with
She has
that,
to go down
with that assault and
5.
battery.
Ari
That
landed
dark
a very
passage
good.
again.
Right, the dark passage not only saved, but the Ari followed up with the taunt, which stopped the Vi's burst from really following up on the Nidalee. Nidalee having to back and hopefully quickly come back if Dragon is still up.
Graves can't take those skill shots either. He almost got a zap, and he took a Nidalee spear. That's going to cost him.
Scuttlecrap going down, Thresh laying the hook, landing on the Vi, and the zap. Ooh, the Vi having to flash out. Talon going hard in for the carries, exhausted.
Graves quick draws over the lane.
Yes, Graves was able to
Talon.
quick draw over the wall. Talon picked up the ult and killed the support, so no dark passages will be happening. We got some battle going up in the top lane. Cassiopeia ult going down. Mundo's ult firing up, so he's got the movement speed and the heal, but he decides not to chase.
And now it looks like we're going to see blue team take the dragon pretty much unopposed.
Not necessarily. You don't know if Nidalee is going to be able to land that spear on the dragon where she has the improved bounce, but it doesn't look like she's going to risk the death and giving it to a carry. The Vi being there, being able to kind of ramp up, or the Graves being able to scale, or the Talon just not wanting to give up that free kill for the risk of just free smiting dragon.
And now it looks like Team Artifacts picks up the first dragon.
Yes.
And they also, and coupled with their kill advantage, although it hasn't translated into much of a gold advantage, due to We Dem Boys being able to CS successfully and maintain their farming.
Yes, one big thing to note is really Cassiopeia is really trying to focus more on actually harassing the Mundo, which is a little bit not the smart way to go about things because he has the Spear Visage already. So he's getting bonus health regeneration just from his passive. He's able to regen more health just anytime. Anytime he has bonus regen from his passive health regen on top of his champion passive, and on top of that his ult. And so he has the MR, he has the regen, and she's just missing CS on trying to harass him down, even though she's not going to be getting any kills on it.
That's such a great item for him. I didn't think about it, but his passive does allow him to regenerate maximum health per second. It's not a bunch, but with Spirit Visage, definitely increases.
It amplifies it by quite a bit. And right there you see he's building full tank. Mundo does what he pleases. In 2 cleavers, has Cassiopeia and an auto attack down to half health. Ari looking to roam, but she runs into a pink ward.
Ari's out of position, but it doesn't look like either the bot lane or Talon wishes to engage, so she leaves unopposed.
Well, Vi is really not in place to really catch him off, so there's really no point to kind of transition on the Ari while she clears the pink ward. Now Nidalee quickly kind of moved into the bot lane, but not being seen until now. She wanders into a bush with a ward in it. Death sentence misses, so nothing really advancing on. Now Talon clearing We Dem Boys' pink ward. And the burst going in. Nidalee falls to the smite by Vi. Mundo still teleporting down. Right there shows the pick potential and the assassin burst of Talon and Vi. Vi had the ult locked down, just going straight to the Ari, where then Talon was able to cut throat, rake, and then use his ult. Noxian Diplomacy, I believe. That's the title.
We see, ooh, that Dark Passage is going to save Jinx yet again. That's such a versatile ability.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely made to where you can engage. You can throw it behind him to add a jungle or to any sort of bring in that third person unexpectedly into the lane, or it can definitely save your teammates if they're caught out of position, or if they're just hanging out trying to get a last bit of CS or a last couple of harass hits and then just quickly getting out with anything in return. Now Ari being able to actually push significantly because she knows Talon's cooldowns are down because he used his burst on Nidalee. But his ult will be back up, his ignite is up, so his kill potential is very high.
One thing I'd like to point out is that Mundo is accumulating a significant farm advantage on Cassiopeia, and that could prove
and he's roaming. And he's roaming. He wasn't even in lane for the past minute and a half. He actually teleported down when they advanced on the Nidalee. And by they, I mean the Vi and the Talon. He teleported down to support the team in case it was a team fight. It ended up not being so, and he kind of roamed around, went mid, helped push mid, created that map pressure, and went back to top. And he is still ahead of this Cassiopeia because she was just putting out too much early harass.
She was focusing, yeah, exactly. She was focusing too much on trading with him.
Right there is the Talon burst, as I was saying. He goes the ult and the ignite. Is the Dark Passage going to be able to save the 2 dots?
No.
And no.
And Talon is on a killing spree. That 3-0 Talon is going to be a nightmare for the other team.
Yes, he does have the armor penetration right now with the Brutalizer, and he's going double Doran's Blade, surprisingly. I imagine he would have went for a pickaxe or a little bit more stronger AD item. But wanting to get more health to make sure it's securing his safety. If he's able, he's trying to go in and blow up one target. He wants to make sure that he has extra health to really get out of there because of the CC that Weedham Boys has with the Mundo slows, the Jinx, launching rocket traps, and Thresh's lockdown, Flay, and Dark Passage.
We see Vi attempting to create pressure on Nidalee's blue, but it was unsuccessful, to say the least.
Right. So blue buff going down, looks like Nidalee is going to go ahead and pick it up freely. At some points you would see a mid laner picking up most blue buffs at this point in the game, but just because Talon has such a spike, it might be dangerous to give up your blue buff to your mid laner if at that point he does get ganked and locked down by Vi or just blown up by Talon in the midst of CS, or excuse me, in the midst of a dual trade.
We have 1 minute and 4 seconds left on Dragon, and it looks like both teams are attempting to get in position to attempt a Dragon. Now, we're looking at Weedham Boys attempting to take their first Dragon, and Team Artifacts already has one, and they're probably going to try and secure another one so they can increase their lead. Already have a kill lead, although, as I was saying, they're...
A very aggressive Dark Passage looking to catch out the support. The rocket's going down. Janna is snared. Flay goes down, but the Talon is there to blow up the Jinx. Jinx has to flash away. It was a very good attempt at a play for the Thresh. Now, at this point where you have Dragon coming up on a short cooldown, hook lands on the AD carry, not much being able to advance with Talon being there. But Thresh going for the aggro play, because if you make the pick, if you get the kill and you have an advantage against the other team, it makes Dragon a lot easier to secure. So he knew that, knowing that it was going to be up in the next 20 seconds, he wanted the support to go down. He wanted to get the champion advantage. Ooh, big spear finding its way to Graves from Nidalee. Dragon being spawned, Nidalee having the poke out. Now another great thing is when Nidalee does keep her blues, even though it doesn't go to her mid lane for the mage, and she keeps them for herself, she gets tremendous amount of siege potential from those spears, just throwing out constantly at about a 5 to 4 second cooldown.
Assault and battery coming in from Vi.
And the lockdown. Thresh going in. Ari being able to catch and shut down the Talon might prove as good, but she has to flash away, dies to the Vi. Graves going down, does Jinx get the passive reset? She gets it, but not able to escape from the Cassiopeia.
And Mundo wasn't even in that fight at all.
Right, Mundo did not have his teleport up from the previous engage.
I am not convinced that was a good idea, but they're gonna, and it could be mainly because it looks like Weedham Boys are gonna give up another Dragon. Mundo's gonna take a tower, but I'm not certain if it was worth it.
Well, it's gonna get them ahead as far as, well, doesn't look like he's gonna take the tower, but he is pushing it. If he were to get the tower, it would actually put them ahead in gold. They're still ahead in gold just because of the huge farm deficit that's coming between the top laners. There's a 60 farm difference, which is roughly about 700 to 800 gold, just in one champion. Is showing quite a deficit.
That is a significant thing. Granted, it's only for Mundo champion, rather than there being a big deficit across or a big advantage across the board rather.
Talon popping his ult for very interesting. I don't know if that was a misclick or intended, but there was no way that he was going to be able to catch a Mundo once he had ulted and gotten his movement speed buff.
He might have thought that perhaps Mundo was looking to capitalize and engage him with people around the corner or something, but still.
Questionable. It was definitely questionable ult by Talon.
I like the similar builds and AD carries. Both of them already have their Infinity Edge. However, Graves is going for the wards. We see evidence of wards from Graves and from Vi on that side. We have plenty of ward coverage that we can see. A lot of pinks being placed.
Yes, Artifacts has been doing a spectacular job at vision. If you see there are 2 pink wards out from Weedem Boys, and make that now 4, or no, Thresh just reset one of his pink wards. Or no, excuse me, Thresh is clearing a pink ward. So now it's back to 2, but there was 3 from Artifacts, pink wards on the map, which are providing good, steady vision, and it shows what areas in the map not only are permanently covered by yourself, but also not being covered by the other team, because it will show vision of their wards. Now here we go, 3-man top lane, looking to catch the Mundo out of place. Mundo's ult back up, it's a very short cooldown. Him looking to go through the jungle. Mundo goes where he pleases. But it looks like Artifacts is looking to transition to top lane to kind of push a tower. Nidalee landing the spear, she's able to get the burst out. Ooh, Talon
nice
juking.
Juke.
Oh, but the Thresh lockdown proving to be too much. And the kill going to the Mundo.
It looked like Talon couldn't decide which way he wanted to go with that, and he kind of just, his indecision cost him.
Yeah, Thresh definitely making a difference there. That Flay and the hook lockdown just secured that even when Talon juked the taunt, was not going anywhere. But surprising enough, Mundo got the last hit, and I'm surprised he didn't give it to the Nidalee or the Ahri. I feel like at a point where their team is at, Mundo is at a good core build. He has his armor, he has his MR, he has the regen, and he has the health that he needs, and the tenacity, because he does get tenacity from his AoE fire damage. That he didn't just give the kill to one of the carries, where Ahri does have her Morellonomicon, and Nidalee having her AP Magus jungle item, and the Sheen building mostly into a Lich Bane. She could also go into, excuse me, she could build into an Iceborne Gauntlet or a Lich Bane. Now Jinx pushing way far ahead, Vi catching her out, and the Cassiopeia burst. Ooh.
Cassiopeia brought her ult as well to slow Jinx down, prevent her from escaping. That was a perfect gank. And we're receiving an update from our production staff that Northern Shadows and Arctic Flamingos win finals, playing each other in the semifinals.
Right, so Northern Shadows did come back in their last game up against Celerity, which was an incredible first game, and an unfortunate second game for Celerity, but Northern Shadows did come out on top. They got their team together and made their way to the semifinals, and they're going to be facing the Arctic Flamingos. Yeah,
so that's probably going to be an excellent game, so we're looking forward to broadcasting that as well. We have them gathering around the dragon buff. We're looking to, it looks like Team Artifacts is looking to take yet another dragon buff whenever it comes up here soon, I'm sure. We have...
It'll be roughly 2.5 minutes. Oh, okay, here it is. 2-minute mark, yep. So Cassiopeia definitely getting a little bit of her core build, going out. She had already had the early tier that she's stacking up with all of her abilities. Then she builds the Morellonomicon to counter the Mundo, which is a huge thing that you want to have, because once he gets to low health and he ults, you want to make sure that you can keep him down, because if he gets once back up to full health, that can be quite a problem in a team fight, because when he does get low health, he does have his bonus attack damage with his Masochist, E damage, to where his auto attacks skyrocket in damage, and also just his cleaver damage being consistent based off of current health. So he just chops you lower and lower and lower. Now Cassiopeia having that, if he does get low health, them actually being able to burst him even if he is ulted and does have that regen going up. Now Dragon coming up in 50 seconds. We got some ward clearage going down. Trying to get the map pressure going and the focus. Mundo already being in the bot lane because he does not have teleport up. He wants to make sure that he is here for this one.
All 5 members of all 5 members of Weedem Boys are pushing on that bot lane turret and getting in position for that dragon as previously stated. And the other 5 members, unfortunately...
The third outer tower going down, so they do get it. And it looks like they might be pushing for a second one because Cassiopeia is looking at pushing the outer top turret. She does have her teleport up. Talon then taking the mid. Looks at Graves actually used his ultimate to actually take the minions out away from the turret. Cassiopeia whiffing her ultimate. Ahri quickly rushing out of it. What an excellent Ahri ultimate. Cassiopeia ult now down, and it will not be up for the dragon fight. And Graves isn't either, because he used his to take the minions up. Now Talon is still split pushing at the mid lane as well.
Talon is split pushing, so it looks like perhaps Looks like We Dem Boys is going to have to make a choice. Ari's going mid, but Ari has not exactly had a proven track record with dealing with Talon.
Absolutely right. It looks like she went there to try to hold back and clear minions at the wave there at the tower. So now Talon is now roaming down bot late, so We Dem Boys has to respect it and move out away from the bot lane tower. Ooh, Nidalee putting out some good pokes.
And here
Same thing
comes
with
Talon.
those cleavers. Talon coming in, Mundo in the front line. He's knocking him down. Got the slowdown and the spear. Now the spear maintains vision. Actually, it doesn't look like it does.
Not during. I don't believe it does during his ult, but
It looks like when he is invisible.
And
Typically,
Janna
if
got
it was
caught
in a
out by
bush-
that hook.
Yes, if it was in a bush, Nidalee spears and traps does give her the hunted vision. But it looks like when he went invisible that they were not able to find it. I actually did not know that's how the hunted passive worked.
Again, a hook with the hook into the
Graves
box.
having to flash.
But Graves' quick draw prevented him from taking any damage or the slow from the box.
Right.
So that was an excellent play by
It was
him.
a very good play by Graves. Yeah, the AD carries, for the very most part, are playing very well. There was at one point where the Jinx was overpushed and overstayed in the bot lane, which cost her against the Vi and Cassiopeia. But it looks like We Dem Boys will successfully pick up this dragon without any compromise. from
That is their
Artifacts.
first dragon buff. So the dragon buff's count now is 1 to 2.
2 being in the favor for Artifacts on the blue side.
And now we're seeing a farm advantage from Nidalee over Vi, but from Mundo over Cassiopeia. So that's going to create a power imbalance on those particular sides.
Right, and Nidalee looking to where instead of going more tanky, she did go towards the damage side. And we saw this in the previous game with Northern Shadows against Celerity, where on the jungler side, you can choose to go damage or fighter or tanky, and because they already have 2 tanks, where in the previous game they had Braum and Sion being such beasts, in this game they have Mundo and Thresh being the frontline tanks. So the jungle is just able to go damage and make the catches and maintain and accomplish the burst that they need to do to really pick out a big carry, either the Cassiopeia, the Talon, the Graves. Even a good pick on the Janna would create good lockdown for their team to kind of push and siege a tower with the Nidalee spears.
That Nidalee's mobility is really making... Oh, that whiff from Ari. But
Oh, the catch on the Graves near the tower
that
and the flay.
hook.
He's having to quick draw out, and Janna with the disengage.
But that mobility from Nidalee is really selling her as far as
Graves getting caught by the taunt and the burst. Goes down. Ari gets the kill. Jinx Rocket going down, completely missing. Talon getting taunted. Ari 2 for 2.
Ooh, Jinx picks up the kill on that Talon, but that was an excellent play by We Dem Boys. Perfect picks on both of them.
Oh, Nidalee with the flash. Thresh with the hook. Neither are finding, unfortunately. But yes, We Dem Boys capitalizing on the Thresh hooks, the Ari taunts, and the Nidalee spears. So now it looks like we are going to have 2 more turrets. Mundo just got the top lane, second turret. Oh, it looks like they're making for a Baron call.
Ooh, this would be a perfect time to do it because Artifacts is being forced to go back to their base
And they
after
are
suffering
down
losses.
2 carries. They are down their 80 carry and their Talon, so they do have a big burst assassin down, and they're sustained constant AG attack damage.
Looks like this is going to be decisive. It looks like We Dem Boys is going to take the very first Baron. This will allow them to push a lot better, as previously stated, and will also deny Baron to the other team. Artifacts will not have the ability to do that.
Right, and Baron is such a huge thing to have for We Dem Boys right now. Them having the hyper carry Jinx, it's just, she is a monster attacking towers. She has her Q, which if on her chain gun or her minigun, just ramps up her auto attack speed. So if she has that at distance, she's able to lay down just even 3 to 5 auto attacks. Her auto attack speed is just going to go up tremendously to where then even if they break into a fight, she's just even stronger than she was. And so then having the minions buff, her auto attacks buff, they can really siege some towers. And Nidalee probably picking up the blue buff so she has the sieging with the spears. Ari having enough mana sustain with the Morellonomicon and the Doran's Ring, just happily giving it up to the Nidalee.
Ari's been able to capitalize on her skill shots recently.
Right.
Although at the beginning of the game she wasn't able to hit a lot of them. Now she's definitely changed her tune on that one.
All right, so we got the mid turret getting focused down. Thresh missing a death sentence, but some good poke, half health on the.
And we're able to see
mid lane.
that advantage that We Dem Boys has from that Baron buff. If we look bot lane, we see Mundo split pushing and doing a very good job of it. Talon's going down to attempt to stop him. And he's
looks to
ineffective.
wave clear. Yeah,
And
just
that-
looking to clear the wave and keep Mundo off the tower. But
And now
We
it looks
Dem
like
Boys-
Artifacts has lost 2 of their tier 2 turrets.
Mundo transitioning mid lane, looks like they're going to be looking for a pick now. They want to fight with the Baron buff. They want to fight under the tower. They will dive. They have the tankiness for it and the burst between the Ahri and the Nidalee.
It's interesting to note that that siege minion, the big cannon minion, with that Baron buff becomes a very dangerous attacker.
Oh, absolutely. And it also is very tanky. It does become an issue for blue team because it also absorbs some sort of CC and also a little bit of, single target effects. Like if it was a Thresh on the enemy side and he has that big siege turret there, his hook could not go through it. Jinx Rocket going out, not finding its way to the low health Vi.
You know what I'm really noticing?
Oh, Nidalee with a huge spear.
One thing I'm really noticing is that the other team seems to be just startled and totally shook by this Thresh. They are doing everything in their power.
Nid spear finding the carry. Ahri going hard. She gets in. Thresh exhaust on the Cassiopeia. 2 carries down for artifacts. Weedham Boys successfully getting into the base. Turret goes down. Vi goes down. Inhib goes down shortly. This might just be the game. We have 3 members down. Only the Janna for shielding the towers and Talon for wave clear, but they do have the minions.
And Mundo is making sure that they capitalize on the other lane too. So
rather than going for the end, it looks like they're going for a second inhibitor. Not much that Artifacts can do at this point. Oh, taunt hits the invisible Talon.
And that hook.
The hook.
Holy smokes.
Now, out of all the plays, the taunts, the spears, I have to say the MVP for this game would definitely go to Thresh. Materia being such a monster. If it goes to a pick and ban phase in the next game, I cannot believe if Thresh goes through the pick and ban phase. He has significantly weighed down the turns of this match. If you look at the scores, Thresh 0, 1, and 10. He has been there for 10 out of 11 of Weedham Boys' kills and only died once. And not KSing his carry.
I was saying earlier that Thresh is a shutdown team fight champion, and nowhere has that proven to be more true than here today. Weedham Boys is perfectly capitalizing. They always seem to be in a position to capitalize on Thresh's hooks, and he never seems to miss them. I just can't believe it.
Only a few we've seen him miss, but when he lands them, man, does it turn the tides.
It sure does.
Ahri going in with the combo. Is she going to go in with the Nidalee?
That was an excellent charm, though. She hit her in mid dash.
Yes, that was very impressive. But not having the vision out, she knew not to engage in because the enemy team might have been there, which the Graves and the Janna were very short behind. Oh, stopping her Vault Breaker and then taking the Dark Passage out.
So that's what we've come to expect in this high elo play like this. They're not making mistakes.
Oh, Mundo teleport going down. We have the Dragon going out. Is Dragon going to get out there? Okay, so Artifacts picks up their 3rd Dragon, so they get the movement speed buff. Cassiopeia catches the Nidalee. Nidalee being shut down.
Cassiopeia takes out the Nidalee and flashes over
Thresh
the wall.
lockdown on the Graves. Ahri goes down for the Q and the heal, and it still bursts. Oh, Thresh with the lockdown once again finds the Death Sentence onto the Graves, locks him down. The Flay locking down the Graves and the Janna proves to get 2 kills for Weedham Boys on their carries. Now both inhibitors down. Artifacts had to respect and back. They could not look to skirmish anymore without their Nexus turrets taking some sort of damage.
Oh boy, that hook.
Death Sentence finding its way. This might just be the game.
This could be.
You have Mundo tanking the towers. Mundo doing what he pleases, harassing the Cassiopeia. The burst going down. 1 down.
1 Nexus turret down. Artifacts is doing their very best to defend, but it's so difficult against such a tanky Mundo. And that Thresh hook, you never know when it's going to come, but you know if it does, it's going to be bad.
Once again, taunt, catching the Vi mid-Vault Breaker, not even able to use her ult. I have not seen Vi use her ult in the past 6 minutes of this game.
The problem with it is because Vi's being forced to make increasingly more risky choices as they get further and further behind, and that's causing them to make these terrible mistakes.
Thresh, unfortunately, not finding a Death Sentence or a Flay on anyone and just dying to the Graves. But 3 inhibitors down. Now there is double super minions spawning from each lane.
6 minions per wave total, and they'll all eventually make their way to their base.
And only 1 Nexus tower.
Yeah, it's looking like trouble for Artifacts today.
Weedham Boys looking to get the blue buff. Now I'm curious if they're going to give this to the Ahri or the Nidalee, because their own blue buff is up. They give it to the Ahri.
She's definitely hurting for mana too, so that seems to make sense.
Oh, absolutely. She had been fighting for a long time, throwing all of her abilities.
And 30 seconds till Baron. It looks like they're going to attempt to take another Baron because that will definitely spell the end of the game.
I'm very surprised that with 30 seconds to go, the Ahri and the Nidalee did not back and buy. With the gold that they have in their purse, Nidalee, after backing and buying, getting stronger AP items for her poke and her Q, could then also pick up the blue buff. She just had to burn her flash. So I feel like that's a misplay from the Nidalee, actually. I feel like she could have gotten stronger, because she's not accomplishing anything right now. She didn't ward out. She's not laying out any traps. She's not landing too many detrimental spears, but she could have had a blue buff to add for her sieging or her poke.
And Baron comes up, and it looks like We Dem Boys are going to take another Baron, and it doesn't look like Artifacts is in a position to really capitalize on it.
They cannot contest it at all. Even if they did a Baron dance with We Dem Boys, if it lasted more than 20 seconds, super minions in every inch would be coming into their base.
And I think we're looking at the end of the game here. We Dem Boys is going to come in. All those extra super minions spawning are going to get that Baron buff, and it's going to be bad news for our team Artifacts.
Right. Now, the middle inhibitor are actually about to respawn, so We Dem Boys is going to have to, well, they don't have to quickly pick it up because they can still get the Nexus turrets, but they probably want those super minions to come in just for any reason. They decide to BM and I'll hop on the Nexus fountain well.
At this point, nothing would surprise me.
Oh, Vi landing the Vault Breaker on the Jinx. Nidalee missing the spear, but still getting some serious burst out from the Lich Bane auto attacks and just the carry from the auto attacks of the Jinx auto attacks.
The combination of that Jinx hyper carry and that Nidalee with that significant farm and gold advantage.
All right, and the tower goes down. Nexus is down, and the first victory of the semifinals going to We Dem Boys.
Over Team Artifacts. What a game. What a game.
What a game.
Look at that gold advantage at the very end of the game.
Absolutely.
That was such a significant advantage for We Dem Boys.
There was definitely a point when Artifacts, they were there in the early game. They made the picks. The Talon was rolling on the Ahri. He was a significant counter pick. Once again, Pat going hard with Jameson.
Got to pay the cost to be the boss, my friend.
Now, with Talon going so hard, Vi ganking and just camping the mid lane, trying to keep the Ahri down, so Ahri could not roam, could not get strong on the pick, because Ahri's been known to make some plays as a mid lane, just kind of solo queue carry champion. The Talon was there, and they were snowballing ahead, but We Dem Boys, Materia on Thresh, what an astounding playmaker he proved to be.
You know, I don't have any pretension of being able to tell the future, but for whatever reason, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I see a Thresh ban in the future.
Absolutely. One thing is for certain, they did do their best to keep Jaeyoon, SB Sky, they did their best to keep the jungler down. They banned out two of his most top play champions, his Lee Sin, which he plays, I want to say, in 70% of his jungle games. If Lee Sin is open, he gets it, and he is good with it. He's able to make the picks, he's able to make the ward hops, you can call him the young insect. Now, with that, on that, on the other hand, another very popular of his jungles is the Evelynn. Evelynn, we have not seen in this tournament. She's a little bit more on the up and swing of things as the jungle, but man, is she a snowball map pressure jungle, because she has that invis ability where she can run around the map, and even if you have green wards out,
you are forced to buy pinks, and you are forced to look over your shoulder at every turn you get.
At every turn. She can gank through the lane. It doesn't matter if you have pink wards in the tri-bush, in the river. She can run straight up from behind the tower and just sit in the lane bush, or even sit on the opposite side as where the enemies are. And then if you get Thresh hooked, if you get Janna slowed or Janna queued with the whirlwind, she just does her movement speed, sprints at you, and the damage is flying out. And so both of those bans going out, focusing on We Dem Boys' jungle, the Thresh, the support, still being able to make the plays and essentially, in my opinion, really MVP and carry out the game.
I agree. And I really think that although We Dem Boys really capitalized on that game and really fairly handily won that game, I think that I would not discount Artifacts yet. I really think that they're going to learn from the game. I think they're going to come back with maybe a different team comp, maybe a different strategy, definitely that Thresh ban as mentioned previously. And We're going to see some more amazing semifinal play. That was the first semifinal game in the 907 Gamers AvaLANche League Tournament. And that goes to We Dem Boys for the first win. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back.
907 Gamers being a good making new friendships, especially with how friendly and open-minded the group is?
Tons of places or groups on the internet, but there's not as many that are just like so game oriented like this one.
It's like a big family and we help each other, and now we're starting to be able to help the community. I really dig being part of that. That's a cool thing.
We're back again, this time with the man behind it all, Cameron Coles. Hey Cameron, thanks for joining us. As the creator of 907 Gamers, what would you describe it as?
I feel like this just started as like a living room game night that just grew out of control. Like, if you see the scene out there, there's just a ton of computers, a ton of gaming. I don't think Alaska's ever had anything like this before, so it's something completely new. It's turned into like a movement, so it's really cool.
You would need a pretty big house to fit all those people in.
Yeah, yeah.
As far as community work goes, I know 907 Gamers has been pretty involved. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, just last week we had a meeting at Providence, and we were able to set up an official Anchorage Guild for Extra Life, which means that the charity recognized our efforts last year. They sent someone up here to Providence from the charity from the lower 48 and came up to meet with us, talk about future meetings at Providence every month. So big things for Extra Life, big things for local charity here to help out Providence.
And how did you perform last year with Extra Life? Obviously very well, considering you're getting all that attention.
Yeah, we did a 3-part event, one in Anchorage, one in Juneau, one in Fairbanks, and in 24 hours we were able to raise $11,500 roughly. So we did really good. It was very helpful for Providence, and it went directly to Anchorage kids, so it was really cool.
Wonderful, that's fantastic. As far as the future of 907 Gamers, obviously this has already grown beyond what you expected it to.
Yeah.
Where do you see it going from here?
I'd like to see a permanent location and maybe build out esports and really have like an awesome scene for any sort of tournaments we can run. You know, two come to mind right away is League of Legends and Counter-Strike. I'd love to see both of those become really popular. League today has been going really, really well. A lot of teams facing off, a lot of really competitive games, really great matches that you guys have probably seen here on the stream. So yeah, I'm really happy with how that's turned out. The LAN's going really well. We've had a little bit of power issues, but mainly just daisy-chained power surge protectors and fixable stuff. So for the most part, it's been pretty good.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's having a really good time. Are you noticing any games in particular that are really being a really big hit out there?
It looks like League, Destiny's doing really well.
Yep.
We've got a Smash table. We've got people playing Counter-Strike. We've got people playing, I saw some StarCraft, Warcraft, Minecraft, a lot of craft. But yeah, a lot of great games going on.
Perfect. And I know I did hear that one of our admins actually brought an Oculus for us to
Yeah,
play around
yeah,
with.
we've got an Oculus Rift here, and if you haven't tried that out, it's pretty incredible.
I haven't. I'm looking forward to trying this Dying Light, though.
Oh, geez. Yeah, it's a
I
little
don't know
bit
if it's
much
very
for me.
healthy for me, but I'll try it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thanks for stopping by, Cameron.
Thank you.
Obviously, you have a lot of things to attend to, so
Thanks for
we'll
watching,
get back
guys.
to it.
Hopefully the stream's going great. I'm going to watch the whole replay later. But looks like everything's going good from what I'm seeing.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Hey guys, it's me, Vex123, here with the squad for some more CSGO competitive. Yogi! Yogi the boy! Alright, so we got a 5-stack, but Lachlan's connecting, so he's gonna miss pistol round, but we got this. We're like pistol round pros.
Way to go, Lachlan.
Oh, he made it!
He made it! Alright, so for the record, usually we get wrecked on nuke, so we're hoping things will change, because Preston knows some smoke
I learned
spots.
smoke.
He
I
learned
learned how
smoke.
to smoke it.
No, smoking is bad, don't smoke, kids.
Oh! Easy, guys, left side. No, everybody outside. Everybody
Outside?
outside.
I'm going.
Another one. Yo, I got 2 boys.
Go on.
Kill them all, Preston. Just kill them all. Outside.
Yeah, I'm
Wait,
going up.
back up. I'm baiting. Back up.
They're all there.
I got one.
Let them push through. I'm baiting.
Yeah, I'm going up.
Oh,
I'm
never
going
mind.
up.
They found me. I've been found. I've been had.
I'm coming. I'm
Guys, help me
coming.
out. Come on.
How do you even get over
2
there?
left. Come on, guys. Red crate and
I didn't know they
secret.
Whoa!
Guys.
No, I can argue with that. I can argue with a shot like that.
I thought it was being super sneaky, and I got a double headshot, and then they found out my secret hiding spot. Leave it to the Australian who forgot to buy Kevlar.
Here we go.
Well,
Lachlan, listen. Vent.
You find you. Lachlan, it's
Up,
above
up,
you,
up.
7. It's planted at B, so
Yeah.
you should probably maneuver your way through the B bomb.
Lachlan, you might as well just save Lachlan.
Guys, Lachlan, is your mic muted? I can't hear Lachlan.
I think Lachlan's like quit the live.
Is this mic muted? Like, I just don't hear him.
Nah, he's in clutch up mode. He's in clutch up mode. Clutch for the boys.
Lachlan, you there?
Nah, dude, it's bot yogi. It's bot yogi. Come on, guys. Don't talk about yogi. All right, are we full saving or should I just get Kevlar?
Save, boys, save.
I just get Kevlar, yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing?
No,
You might
nothing.
get
Okay,
Kevlar.
all right.
Full save.
All right, full save.
Yeah.
All right, everything's gonna be all right.
Just freaking bot. Oh my lord.
What?
Bot
It's
is
just.
seven.
Oi, fish.
What is
Oi.
he doing?
Lachlan, why would you speak?
I think he's getting angry with us, guys. I think he's getting a little irritated.
Oh my.
All right.
gosh.
I'm right. We got 3.
I got outside.
All right.
Yeah, we need to start calling our spots better.
Yeah.
I see nobody outside. I feel like this is gonna be a B.
Someone's
gonna go
someone's
secret.
on the roof. They're coming down into Lebe.
Okay.
I'm going to secret. Oh, he's in secret. He's in secret. Yeah, they already
Already?
dropped down. Yep. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
How?
Yeah, they're down
Is
there. I
anybody
don't know.
watching outside?
They dropped down to B. So they're
Okay, I'm
definitely
going.
going to B.
Outside. Oh
Yeah.
god, there's one.
Yeah, they dropped down fast and hard.
I need to learn call outs on this map like ASAP, Jesus.
Well, okay, Pete, if you look at your top left, it tells you the callouts.
They're in there.
Guys,
They're
they're
up. They're
I
up.
need help.
Oh, right. Forgot about that.
He's
I haven't
tagged in
used top
Vans.
left in so long.
They're all here, boys.
Yeah, I know.
Bait, Vic, if you can
Yeah, I
bait.
know.
Kenny, try to sneak attack. Oh, they planted A.
They
Ooh,
put
that's
it A? I
rough.
thought they were here.
Yeah, they planted A. Oh, 2 in hell. 2
They
in
did
hell.
more than plan A. Lachlan, I think your
I
mic's
know.
muted. Lachlan, I think your mic's muted or
Slash
bugged.
sense it-
Yo,
Lachlan's
Lachlan.
We need
Your
comms.
mic
We need
muted.
comms.
We need comms. Okay, oh, we can't.
I can't
do
even
a
full
buy.
bar. I'm going P90 drive by SMG. Look at that guy. Nah.
Punch off.
Nah.
0 and 1. Punch out of here. Talk to me.
$0 boy.
Can I leave? No, Lachlan, you can't leave.
You guys didn't buy, did you?
I did. I'm gonna go and drive by their whole
I thought
team.
we were buying.
No.
not-
Ow, whoa,
I
Lachlan
was
shot me.
misled.
Lachlan
Don't
shot
buy
me.
it. You get like everything.
Oh, Lachlan's sandstorming all over right now.
All right, hashtag.
Oh, in A, 2
I'm
in A, 2
going.
in A.
If we could get an unsub to Lachlan, boy. Just kidding.
2 in A.
I can't do anything with it.
Oh, we hear you. Jeez.
Lachlan, why did you just now speak?
Because I'm so angry.
Wow, chill. Jeez.
I have 270 people
Boys!
to a thing.
Go, Vic!
Boys!
Vic's going in.
Dude, it's always the noob. Alright, go!
Oh, going, boys.
Vic's going in.
Yo, get his gun, Vic. get
No,
his
I
gun.
said I was gonna P90 drive by,
Need a gun.
and I'm gonna P90
Sneak,
drive
Vic,
by.
You got the surprise element here. Come on.
P.
Or just
Why? No, I was shooting into his
That means
face.
nothing.
Why did that only do
I started, but I
34?
finished.
Why were you stomping around, Vic?
Because you guys were all screaming in my ears, and I was P90 drive buying, all right, and getting cash.
Stop, like, oh my god.
I've been headshot the last 3 rounds. but I'm
Okay,
gonna
okay.
come back.
All right.
We'll go heaven. Alright, somebody go ramp, and then 2 can go
Yeah.
outside. 2 can go ramp, 2 can go outside.
Oh,
Just
I'm
do
gonna-
it.
Surprise.
Wait a minute, Lachlan, no.
Why do you do these
Lachlan,
things to
actually
hurt
stop.
me?
This is competitive. Stop being.
Okay,
Yeah.
one-
Stop.
Phantom.
Somebody go mini, I'll go heaven,
Okay.
and then
I'm
2
going
can
mini,
go
I'm
ramp.
going mini.
I'll be
Yellow,
bait. I'll
yellow,
be bait. What does bait do?
He dies. Why did you go heaven, Lachlan? What? He dropped down, he dropped
Okay,
a
I'm
beat.
going again.
2 drop
Two
beat.
of 'em, two of 'em.
I'm
Drop
going
beat,
again
yeah,
in
drop
behind.
beat. Oof. Coming ramp. Sure, they're probably already in a ramp room. Nope, nothing ramp yet.
None outside. Oh, one outside. One outside. One
Oh
outside.
god, we gotta watch that, dude. Oh my
Oh,
god.
Wow, I got a kill. I can't
They're already
believe it.
in
Mom, get the
secret.
camera.
One outside.
With a
Sensitivity
P90.
so eight.
I'm watching B. I don't see anything B.
So I should probably go ramp. I think it's a B.
I watch A. No, I'm in
Oh,
ramp.
okay. I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
I got A. I got A. I got A.
Okay.
I got one heaven.
You got it.
They gotta be coming B, I guess. I don't know.
Well, 2 dropped down, so I would imagine.
I don't see anything B.
Nothing A.
They're playing it slow, dude. I don't like this.
One went secret, so they might would have went outside.
You guys have hell locked down? I don't see anything hell right now.
There's nothing on
Nothing
A.
radio room. This is so weird.
Hmm.
Oh,
Oh,
who's
here we go.
Hey, is it A?
I got
see
him.
nothing
Got him
B. I
because I'm
see
not bad
nothing
at the
B.
game.
See nothing B.
Oh, wait. Is that? Oh, it's you.
Ow!
Sorry.
Ow, Lachlan!
That's him. Kick.
I'm gonna
Wait,
rush
hold on,
back.
is this you? Shoots. Yeah, it's you.
Oh, heaven. I'm probably gonna die. He's on heaven.
Just
I'm
wait,
coming,
wait,
just
wait,
take
I'm
duck,
putting
duck,
on
duck.
Kings. Back up.
There you
Wow,
go.
I
Nice.
got him. What the hell? Is he
4
bad at
health.
this game?
Beast.
Like, I literally have 280 ping.
I think one's
Like,
behind us. I think one's in our spawn.
Okay.
Lachlan, don't fall down.
Oh,
Wait,
dude,
dude,
I love
lockers?
it.
Is that him lockers?
No. Oh, I don't know.
Sound like one lockers.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Heck, here's one.
Mini-maps
There's
are
one.
amazing, aren't
Yeah.
Where's he at? Where's he at?
Lobby.
Now don't use that, Pete.
Gosh dang it. I'm gonna go ramp then.
they? You don't watch the mini-map?
I hear him. I
Look,
think
honestly,
he's
I'm beyond salt at this point.
Is he on?
Oh, they smoked up, they're coming to A. He smoked up
Okay.
from A. Like, I don't know what that call it is.
Alright, time.
Wait, they're still alive. So
Oh,
Lachlan,
MVP!
don't die.
MVP!
Alright, good.
my God. Okay, there we go. We got it right.
Alright,
Here we go. Okay.
run down the clock, boys. That's how we do.
Alright,
Because your carry decided to play.
Lachlan, go to.
Hey, Preston, can you buy me a gun?
Shoot. Yeah, you should ask me a lot sooner.
I have a smoke grenade. Where do you want me to put it, Preston?
Don't worry about it on CT. Smoke isn't super necessary. I'm going to heaven again, so don't go heaven. We
Yeah,
see
I'm
one-
going. I'm just gonna rush.
One
again.
heaven
Watch
outside, 1
Can
minute,
I be an angel and go to heaven
and
as well?
2 ramp.
I'll go ramp.
Oh my God, Case, I was going to heaven, you nerd.
Yeah, but they keep pushing
That's
here, so I'm
fine.
pushing up.
I got behind you.
Alright,
Oh,
sure.
Vicky, you're going in,
I
man.
always go in Peanut drive bys.
Nothing.
It looks like they're going outside because there's no ramp at all. Me and
I
Vic
don't
push
see
them
any
hard.
outside yet.
He's tagged.
feeding
He's
him
tagged.
off.
He's tagged.
It's like their own lobby.
Oh, what? Come
One down.
on.
Yeah, one's
Oh, wait.
tagged
I'm just
lobby.
camping in that. Can you like?
Where's he at? King?
Not.
Where's he at?
He's
in the
little
corner.
corner in that door.
Oh,
to the
sh-
left.
oh, yeah.
Can he appear?
Hey, he's behind
Yeah,
the door.
yeah,
He's
to the left,
behind the
right
open
there.
open
You see his
door.
gun. Shoot through the crack. You can shoot through the corner of the wall. Right there. Shoot it.
Right here.
Right there to the left, Pete. See that gun. Just go in. There you
Nice.
go, Nice.
I hear him walking in there.
Heaven,
Oh,
heaven.
what? He's
Office.
going through to.
Ah, bad aim. He's left
One
for
mini and
76.
or one hut and one in
Yeah, they're both in there.
the
Both?
radio.
Well, they were. Yeah, that's one of them. The other one I think's gonna be coming to the right.
One of them's pretty tagged, but he's got an up. He's got an up. That's the one. He's probably one more shot
Yeah, I know.
if you can, but I wouldn't peek it.
Whoa!
Oh, nice.
Broke my legs, but it's worth.
Hack points.
Where
Wait,
is
did
that?
you actually
Oh,
break
yeah.
your legs? And you can't
Yeah.
walk?
He's
Oh,
empty.
really? That's the thing.
Might be
No,
behind.
no, he's shifting.
Oh,
He's
God.
not broken his legs. Don't
I
worry,
was like,
Lachlan.
wow, he broke his legs, but he
Nice.
Hey, here with you guys. Gosh dang it, guys.
you.
Stop talking about broken legs. man. Fudge off, man.
Did you see the news, guys?
I was buying auto to feed to the other team, right?
Did you hear about the guy broke his legs in CSGO? Made Australian headlines.
All right, we need to actually get we need to get ahead here because this is CT sided.
Nah, I don't. Yeah, I know, dude. We're all gonna give like 15 like rounds.
Let me
to
go
them in a
outside.
second.
I'm not going to heaven anymore. Let me go outside.
I'm going outside.
I'm going round.
I got the op. I got the op. Don't block me.
Okay.
Lock.
Well, I missed it, boys.
Nothing so far outside.
Yeah, hang
You guys,
outside.
anybody watching Mini? Is anybody watching Mini?
Mini.
I got two
Nice.
glasses.
E going in.
It's what we gotta do sometimes.
Feel like
Going
there's
through the door.
nobody
He's in hut. In
outside.
hut.
All right, I'm lobby.
Outside.
He's in lobby. Yeah, he's in there. He's in there.
No, oh, there was one
Yeah,
in
it's hut.
PC room. PC room. Is there a call out for that?
Yeah, I think that's called radio.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
radio tag.
Yeah.
He's one hit.
What do you think?
Well, I did 42, but I don't know how much Vic did.
No, I did nothing. He shot me in the back.
Yeah, he's not going that way, guys. He's not gonna run back to spawn.
You sure? I'll watch this.
He went towards ramp.
Yeah.
Before he does, though.
Yeah.
Guys,
He isn't he? And then he's gonna win.
look at
and then
this
we're gonna-
wood. Look at this dot. Looks like a poop turd. I'm watching this acorn. Should I pre-fire it, Kenny?
No, he's not coming that way.
Oh!
Is that?
No, just in case.
No, it should be probably B.
Think B?
No, I got the ladder.
Someone heard him running around.
Hold on. Shh. Thought I heard him
In secret, maybe?
at ramp.
Dun 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 dun. I'm secret.
I'm going down ramp.
Oh, he's definitely B.
Yeah, you hear him.
Unless you guys walking.
Wait, I hear footsteps.
He's planning A.
Oh, he's planning.
A.
Yeah, he's planning A.
The other A, Preston.
Sorry.
Which one was that? C? He's planning C, boys.
I think he went hot or right below you, Lachlan.
I know where he is.
Gotta be hot. I'm gonna fake.
Yeah. Lock and watch hut.
I got hot. Oh yeah, he's hot.
Yeah, nice.
Don't worry, boys.
It's easy. MMR.
There we go.
All right, cool.
Easy, boys. Just
Not
easy,
bad,
ma.
not
Nice
bad.
kick,
Use
Preston.
that? Are you defusing that?
Yeah, I'm defusing it. What do you mean? Like, why would I not be defusing this?
Nah,
I
it's
see
just-
that diffuse kid. That ain't 5 seconds. Hey! Hey!
I'm jumping off.
you
Go my
monkey.
legs. Oh, okay, good.
Hmm.
It's like, guys, please, I don't want to break my legs.
What, Kenny?
Try me again.
What do you want?
Anything.
Okay, hold on. Alright, here, you can have an atomic alloy!
Oi, you give him the fancy guns, but not me.
Hey,
I
why are
see.
you guys making fun of him? Leave him alone.
Alright, jeez, I want kills.
Let my Locky go. I got this.
Kenny,
big
is this
covered.
like a legit? Kenny, is this a legit spot, like here?
I don't know. I always sit there.
Yeah, I feel safe here. It's my safe place.
Lachlan, you still watching outside?
Kenny,
I'm
watch
not-
it. They
One's
camp
outside.
in there.
One's outside.
I got hot.
Aaron,
He's
you
in there.
outside?
Yep.
I don't see anything outside,
Alright.
Is
dude.
he rushing?
There's, I think there's might be another in there. Yeah, sorry. Yep,
Got him.
nice.
It's alright, got him.
There's a
Another one,
third.
another one.
He,
I got hot.
he's got an AWP. AWP, watch it.
Oh,
He's hit.
God.
He's hit. He's smoking.
Alright.
Where was
Yeah,
he? Where was he?
Pete?
Yeah, there's one right in the corner of Squeaky.
I just leave it here. I just hold
Yeah,
it here.
he just came in. He came in squeaky. Opened the door anyways. Oh, he crossed. He crossed. He's in. He's in. He went vents. He went vents. Vents to
I got
vents to B.
I'm on Raj.
Hey, don't make. Oh,
Got him.
Good shot.
Who's out here with
I
light
see
blue?
secret. What do you got? Guys, there's secret in red crate.
We're on the other side of the map.
Hey guys,
I
don't
don't
worry.
know.
I am alive. I'm gonna feed them an auto.
Two secret. Two secret. One's
yeah.
hit 91.
He's secret.
Am I looking
That's
the right
not
way?
bad. I miss these shots.
What is he doing? He was dancing.
I think he was just
I
happy.
Put on a show for you. If I get back my you get my op. Plus you have no ammo.
Yeah, I know.
Last
Yeah.
guy went B.
He was definitely secret. Oh, you hear him coming up. He's at. Oh, never mind. It's
Wow,
Lachlan.
I just messed up.
Yeah, it's a good looking gun.
God, Lachlan sounds like there's no ammo in it, Vic.
Yeah,
What the heck?
yeah.
Oh, he's planning. He's planning A or B. I think he's A.
Crying out
A.
loud. Whatever.
Planet A. Planet A.
Got him.
Easy, Vic.
Easy, cheap,
I
and
want the
reliable.
I'm not using the op anymore, man. I haven't seen anybody this game.
You
I saw two people. I'm gonna see. I got sandwiched so hard right there.
wanna know why?
Why?
Because we're playing Nuke.
Lol.
Yeah, dude, it's like
I agree,
heavily,
I
heavily
agree.
CT. Like, we're gonna get wrecked here.
No, we're not. Don't you worry.
Yes, we are, because I'll feed if we aren't.
Oh, wow.
The
Oh.
I'm
sass.
actually gonna get the fuse kit this time.
Yeah,
Please
everybody-
This time.
I'm pretty surprised I haven't died in like 3 rounds.
Wow,
Dude, how am I
what's it
doing
like?
second best for the team? Like, come on, boys. You guys are bad at the game.
I don't know. You should have died.
Actually, Preston has one more assist than you.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah,
I'm looking
get
at
in
the
your
leaderboard,
place.
I'm second to the top. But I have an MVP. So does he. Alright, I don't know. They got a smoke up here.
Yeah, smoke out and outside.
They got two. One at 2 secret. One thing. I'm stuck behind a crate. Might die. Keck on deck.
Yeah, they're definitely all coming outside.
Yeah, one going for that thing. He's in that room.
think one
That's,
already crossed
yeah,
secret.
oh, two in
One
that room.
crossed-
2 in
yeah,
that
two
room.
crossed
3 in that room. 4 in that room.
Yeah,
They're all
like-
there.
Oh,
They're
good.
all there.
Preston,
Yeah, sorry.
stop feeding me grenades. They're not tasty.
One, they crossed the B. On bomb.
In that like room.
Wow, this hits the male guy's bad.
I got orbs. Yay! I'm really bad at the game.
Are they under?
Da-da-da-da.
Yeah, they're on bomb. Two of them planted. My aim is terrible. Sorry.
I'm going ramp.
Are you guys going to do anything?
You're in
Are
this
you gonna
guy.
do anything there?
I got one. There's gonna be one in that door.
Dude, that door right there.
Oh, through the wall! Wow.
Nice, nice.
What the hell,
Good.
Preston?
I'm watching this door. I'm watching this door over here.
My bad.
Just defuse. Someone get on it.
Oh, Preston!
Defuse, defuse.
Yeah. He's gonna do it.
Where is he? Where's the last guy?
AFK maybe? I don't know.
Huh?
I think he might have been in secret still.
I was just like, I'm gonna shoot through this wall.
Boom! I was watching. That was nuts.
Boom, bada boom.
That was, it wasn't nuts. It was nut.
Can someone go ramp instead of me? I'm bored. I'm bored.
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay, cool.
Alright, boys. Let's.
Where should I go, Kenny? Where do you usually go?
You know, just that one spot. Whatever. I don't know.
Surprise!
Lachlan,
Real
like,
mature.
do your parents hate you?
Wow.
Dang.
Okay, no, they don't.
Are you
Nice.
sure?
Pete.
Open doors on me. Oh, one in hut. One in hut.
Yeah, he's tagged. He's
Definitely
tagged.
playing more towards mid. Oh, yeah. Watch out! He came out. He came out. Sorry, Pete.
Oh, God. It's okay. It's revenge.
Watch out! One's right.
Oh,
one's
Orpa on. Yeah, they're hut and door. Hut and squeaky.
Yeah.
That
right here.
nade.
Oh, he's tagged.
There's one
Wait, where's
that's
that?
pushed out door.
Right,
Pushed out door.
In hut.
B or A?
Down. Hut down. Hut down.
Oh god, no, he's not.
Crying out loud.
One in there with an
Two down.
There's another squeaky.
Okay,
Sure.
let's
No,
There
the bomb
will-
was planted B, wasn't it? So there's
Okay,
this-
yeah.
wait,
Yeah, he went down vent, yeah.
Go, go, go.
Yeah, I think it's dead, isn't he?
Go, 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 go. Broke my legs. Where's
You
the
walk
bomb? Get-
still.
I'm going for
Good
defuse.
shit. Yeah, just defuse it all the way.
I shot him in the foot!
Go.
The bloody toe!
Do we have enough time?
Yeah,
There's a defuse
yeah.
here.
Oh, okay. Seriously, hit him right in the foot.
No, don't
Block
kill
him,
me.
please.
No!
Oh, no! No, what the fudge?
That is
Oh,
banter, and then there's...
MVP.
You took like 10 HP! Like,
I return fire, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, I got a cheeky headshot.
There is
Well,
no
I think
banter. Kenny, do you need a gun? No, you
oh,
don't.
No, I got it
so
up.
in Lachlan.
I might need one.
Can you go ramp again?
Yep.
So
Cool.
sandstorm.
Yeah, I'll watch Squeaky.
Lachlan.
This is rude, dude. Oh, he's I think we saw one peek
Yeah.
out. Yep, couple peeking
Watch it, watch
outside.
it, watch it.
I don't see anything ramp.
Yeah, that's one person you saw him go.
What is wrong with that guy?
Ops.
Oh.
I don't know, dude. I can't kill anything.
One down office.
Oh, Orpa, the last guy's an
Outside,
Orpa. Watch it, I
outside.
wouldn't...
Do up,
go
do up,
right,
do
go
up.
right, stay right. He's round that box. Watch it.
Here, I'm backing up.
He's going all the way
Alright,
around,
he's
he's going
going
all the way
He's in
around.
lobby. He's in lobby.
Kenny,
Kenny,
Kenny.
Kenny right. Kenny to right. Both of them. Last two to right, Kenny. Last two in lobby. Help Kenny out.
I'm going back around.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's-
Oh!
Go for the
TK,
flank, Lachlan.
go,
for
go.
the flank,
They're
to
in
right,
the smoke.
Pete.
Yeah.
They're in radio room now. Radio
There's
room.
only one, there's only one.
Already
They
ran.
team
They're-
killed.
they're-
He's
They're
ramp
in,
probably.
they're in B. They're in B.
They team killed.
You mean there?
Just gonna go down the vents, Lachlan, to your right, outside of Squeaky, and go down.
Wait, you hear him?
Yeah, down there. Hey, chill zone! Hey, chill zone!
Yeah, stay back. Wait.
Once in hell. Wait for the plant.
Hey, this is Cameron. In a little bit here, we're going to be having a special event, so please stay tuned. It'll be right around midnight.
There's only one up. They team killed.
Yeah.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is!
Oh, holy crap! He's
Ramp,
yeah,
on
he's,
ramp, under the ramp.
Your left. It's in the ramp. Yeah.
Right there.
Beat.
Oh god.
He team killed and got 2 kills.
It's okay. It's okay.
Free kill MVP.
He just wanted more kills.
Why did I get MVP from dying to Lachlan? I guess.
Someone buy me a gun.
No, not again.
Yeah, I got you.
Buy me a
I got
gun.
you.
I'm
There
buying
you go.
so many guns.
Look,
man.
you get my stock pleb weaponry. Enjoy.
Oh my god. Here, take it back.
No. Wait, why? When did I get so rich? Jeez.
Wow, they killed one of their teammates.
Dude, we have to win. Are they that confident?
It's a bar.
I lose a kill.
It's a bar. It's a bar. It's a
Good.
bar. It's a bar player. It's a robot. I think there's some coming B.
I think there's none outside yet.
It's
One
a
side.
B.
Couple hut.
In is spawn on the roof, man. So good at this game.
Maybe on the roof. Oh, right, that roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll leave that roof alone.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's in radio.
Yeah.
What you're saying is you don't believe it?
Yes.
Oh,
Hey everyone, something really unfortunate happened this past weekend, and so for this occasion we're going to call for a moment of silence for one of our members named Chase Johnson. He passed away last weekend, and we felt like he's a really important member of our community, and we really wanted to give him a moment of respect. So we're going to ask everyone to turn off their monitors here at AvaLANche, and we're killing the music. And we're going to have a moment of just pure silence for about 1 minute, and just in remembrance of Chase. Starting now. All right, thank you for that moment. We're going to try to remember Chase for all the good things he did do during his time in Now 7 Gamers. He's been a great member to. He's really given back to this community, and we want to remember him for those kind things he's done. Thank you.
There's an op in the hut if anybody wants.
Oh,
Ah! Oh my god.
907 Gamers is really special. There's not really another gaming group like it. Everyone's kind of got this community teamwork ethos, and I think I really like that about Alaska. It makes this gaming community work. I can't tell you how awesome that feels, just to be like, man, this is really going somewhere. And we've really got an awesome community. We can do big things together.
Lachlan's the new Rob.
Possibly.
Yeah. Ready? Alright, ready?
Someone go under. Someone go under.
3, 2, 1, free check flip. Go, 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 go!
Behind you.
Behind you, kids! Right there, he's in a hut, to your right.
On A. The bomb.
Planning.
Get a beat!
Dang it!
Yo, this is gonna be a rough game.
Yo, what the hell's going on, boy? Like, what's going on?
Alright, I'm no longer rich.
I'm no longer
Broken the joke. That's it.
So, let's just lock down.
Yeah,
Lock it down.
Lock them down.
Yeah, I'll lock down.
Let's lock them down, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sandstorm, man.
Yeah, no, like, we can't get beaten by these guys. We can't. That's just, nah.
It's because they're just camping and spawn. I mean, it's not hard to win if you do that.
It is kind of hard to plant the bomb. Sorry.
Was that your flash or theirs?
No, it's theirs.
Oh,
Outside.
boy.
I'm rotating out.
Yeah, one outside.
I think the one outside has an op.
Yeah, he does. He just missed me. He's bad at the game.
I thought he missed me.
He's in there.
Ace tagged.
Yeah.
And he, what? One-shot me with
I
a
got him.
pistol. Okay.
Bombs down. Keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
I'll just keep an eye on the bomb, you know?
And I was like, hey!
The guy's name reminds me of. Where are they at?
Uh-oh.
They've got the bomb now, dude.
Any hut
Yeah.
outside?
Lobby.
No one outside.
One lobby, one A.
No one outside.
Lobby.
bomb.
He's tagged in radio. Hit for 2. He's 50 health.
Okay.
He's got bomb.
Lachlan's got the mad flank going on.
Go on ramp, Lachlan.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, some. One's squeaky and then one's radio. Squeaky.
Oh, one's squeaky.
Good call.
That's right there.
Good call.
Nice.
Alright.
They're gonna get beat, I'm pretty sure.
Well, there's only one up.
You don't have bomb down. Bomb has been planted. Oh, big. Oh, nice.
Got him.
Good job, buddy.
Almost fooled me with that whole bomb plant thing.
Finish off 3 wounded enemies.
Oh, when they get wounded, I just find them and I just take them out.
Vic, can you buy me a gun?
I take him out to
Any day.
Valentine's
Any
Day,
day,
you know,
Kenny.
with the poison octopus.
Thanks. I appreciate all the donations, guys.
Thanks for the sub, Team
I hate you.
I can't play against these Virginias, dude.
Wow,
They
the
just sit and
shots.
spawn.
Yeah, just wait for them, and they don't like that.
It's so boring. I want to fist a chicken nugget.
That's right. Wait till we're T, and then we can
Hey,
just do mad
outside.
I'm in there.
Thanks,
I'm
thanks,
there.
thanks.
No, Pete, don't come in. Close the door. Close the door. I'm naked.
Orange, can you see the cross, the red crate? One's at the red crate right now.
Yeah, they're all outside.
Oh yeah, I feel. No, that was so poor. I've never been so embarrassed. He's radio coming to lobby. Yeah, cheers.
Oh God! They're all here!
Oh! Get
Kenny
it, the
going in.
triple! Last one was outside, last one was outside.
He went radio.
You sure? I thought he was outside.
No, I'm not sure, but I'm guessing.
Pretty sure the last guy was outside, but
Yeah,
it's just me.
He might be. I don't know where the hell he went.
No, I don't- yeah.
Leroy.
Oh, there he's
went
outside,
ramp.
he's
He's
outside.
outside.
Okay. I thought I saw one went ramp, so I was confused.
Hey,
Either just all
give me
ramp-
that gun, give me that gun. Oh, never mind.
I probably would have got a
Oh,
quad
there's-
if I just held it down.
Did I get the AK? Oh my god, I threw my gun, it didn't pick up the AK, and I lost my gun.
Here, I can give you one.
No, I get this one. No. There's one right here, there's one right here.
Behind you,
Alright,
behind you.
Throw it back.
Throwback Thursday.
Throw back to.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I walked so slowly. I looked at a guy for a second, he was just sat in the corner, he's like, hey.
Hello there. friend. What's going on?
Very awkward sitch.
Sitch, mate. It's a sitch.
That sitch was proper awkward, like.
It was a right.
He
proper
saw me and he shot me.
issue.
I should have shot him first, but he proper shot me.
But he proper pulled out the proper boomerang.
Oh God, my ankles.
Go, Kenny, go.
He's up top.
Run a marathon.
I'm hitting him.
Run,
He's
Kenny.
there. He's there. He's actually there. He's up top. I'm going in.
Ah, go!
No.
Kenny, bye, Kenny. Don't worry,
What
I'll
the
avenge you.
fudge?
If I
What
avenge
is
you, I
he
mean I'll miss every
doing?
hit.
God, they're just camping outside.
Kenny, how did we not kill him? Did you get any hits on Kenny?
I'm not used
No,
to.
I didn't hit him.
Come through door, I dare ya!
To your left.
Oh God!
Back
got
in, back
two of
in,
you.
back in through heart.
To your left, Vic.
I'm watching door.
You have the picks and bans all clearing through for Weedem Boys and Artifacts going into game 2. Now, surprisingly enough, we're just now on the delay timer, and just interesting things that I want to point out is Weedem Boys had first pick, and Artifacts did not ban out the Thresh, which was definitely detrimental to their win in their previous game. Now, it did look like they switched up the team comp quite a bit. They banned out the Nidalee that was being used in the jungle by CV Sky, and also keeping out his Lee Sin. And they also wanted to keep out the Ahri just because of Ahri's very, very strong potential to kind of snowball and work into the mid game and early game. And with that, it looks like in exchange, they're going for definitely an AoE engage, lockdown, damage situation where you have an Amumu bandage toss going into his ult, Curse of the Sad Mummy for AoE. Then you have the Leona ult on top of that, the Solar Flare with the Rumble ult shooting across. So it's made for the lockdown damage that can definitely devastate an enemy team. And on the other hand, we still have the Thresh, the playmaker going on, landing his death sentences, landing his dark passages, getting people out to safety, or even helping engage like we saw in the previous game. And moving in, we also see a LeBlanc going into the mid lane instead of an Ahri. So we still have a mobility. We still have burst damage. That's just surprising to the, have to the mid lane. And as far as engage goes, if Weedem Boys are looking to advance on to Artifacts, we have a Shaco jungle, which Shaco is one of those jungles that can easily carry the game or completely lose it. He starts out, does what he pleases, he starts where he wants, he invades where he goes. Everyone knows both jungles are Shaco's jungle, if he plays it just right. If it's a loss, then hey, it might be a loss. But with that, the possible engage is mind-boggling, because you have the Shaco deceiving in, going invisible after using his Q with the Orianna ball on top of it, being able then just to AoE people, with them not even seeing the ball. Because when it's on an invisible target, like Rengar, like Kha'Zix, like Shaco, you cannot see the ball when it's on top of them. And on top of that, if you have it, it locks in, then you have LeBlanc double distortion in. It just creates huge amounts of damage. It would be fantastic. So now I've got my partner back here, Pat Daly. We're going to be looking at commentating this game, and here we go, starting level 1, working out. It looks like we're going to see a little bit of grouping.
I would just like to say for the record that I agree with everything you've said. That being said,
it's nice to have you, Pat, back. It's nice to have you back.
Well, what can I say? I am nothing if not consistent. That being said, we're looking forward to another excellent game. Now, as we recall, that last one was kind of one-sided, so we're hoping to see a little bit better play here in the future coming up here. But we're looking for that level 1 invade here. We are seeing Weedem Boys on the blue side, and they appear to be moving towards the. That blue buff on the top
and
end.
a ward did catch them. So red team knows they're there. They're backing off. They're not like wandering around seeing if they're in there or not. They're just saying, forget it. If they want to start blue, let them start blue, which is really a typical invade that you see even at any level of Elo. If there's an Amumu jungle, you're like, hey, let's take his blue. I mean, what's he going to do? Cry on us level 1? He's going to throw a temper tantrum? Amumu does nothing level 1. And so they're just like, hey, let's get his blue. Let's kind of shut him down because he's kind of mana heavy early. But they don't see him. They don't catch him. So, they kind of go their own different ways.
And they don't stick around waiting for something to happen. They are active, not reactive. So.
Exactly. They're saying, okay, let's go back to our lanes. And unlike last game where we had the duo tops, the bot lane, the AD carry and the support going top lane where they were trying to catch him out. It looks like both of them went bot, no problem, and both top laners are going top.
Can't argue with that. Seems to be they're doing the safe, cautious thing here.
Right. And Shaco doing what he pleases, laying down the early boxes, getting his Gromp camp. Not a problem. Walking away from the Gromp. And don't worry. Not a problem. His box is clearing it out. And look at that. He doesn't even pass by the blue. Shaco doing what he pleases, but he's going to be seen by a ward. Now, this is going to be very interesting how Artifacts reacts it, especially in the mid lane, only level 1. Shaco spotted out. They're pinging the assist. Amumu saying, help me, help me, help me. Talon roaming. LeBlanc following, level 1. Ooh, Rumble catching. Now Shaco does have the deceive and just gets out of there. He is notified that he was caught by a ward and he's going to go do his blue. That's definitely an exciting play that could have happened in the middle area, across the map.
I love the immediate reactions to Shaco being in their jungle. It was swift and immediate, and they
as soon as the ward spotted
they would not tolerate him being there because they can't tell what he's going to do, but they know it's going to be bad.
Yeah, Renekton catching that level 2 early, laying down some good burst on the Rumble. And Thresh, the first death sentence lands and the hook. Level 2 in the bot lane. We could see an early kill.
Oh boy.
Now Corki. Corki is a really interesting pick. We haven't seen him played yet this tournament, but we've seen Graves in every match. Now Corki is a direct counter to Graves, where Caitlyn does have the range on Graves. Graves is passive. When he is being attacked or when he is attacking, he gains armor and MR, so it makes him a little bit more tanky as an AD carry. Now Corki, 10% of his damage, regardless if it's an ability or an auto attack, it does true damage. So it's kind of a natural counter to Graves. And Thresh, once again, just being a monster, making plays in the bot lane, just providing that pressure to his lane.
Once again, I think they're going to regret not banning Thresh. I mean,
I was absolutely astonished to see the pick and ban phase just looking like as them banning the junglers out or the Lissandra out, but they left Thresh open. Thresh catching a minion.
I hope it wasn't for lack of respect or something for his abilities, because we all know what they can do now. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we will see how Artifacts handles this. I mean, they are the #1 seeded team in the tournament. They did very well in the round robin part of the tournament, but We Them Boys giving them a very hard run for their money.
We Them Boys are showing time and again why, in particular, they are a team to be reckoned with, and why they're a team that, they have an obvious natural chemistry, and that's why they're one of those teams that's around and going to be around after the tournament's over.
Absolutely.
I like Rumble against Renekton. I think that's a pretty good choice.
Well, see, Rumble's really nice because if you time out his shields correctly, he's actually able to negate a lot of harass, and that does make a difference as far as, trading in lane, and that's a huge part of, laning goes. Solo queue, top versus top, mid versus mid. It's how well can you sustain your mana, if you have mana, and how well can you sustain your health. Shaco going in, not being caught out, puts the box behind the Talon. Talon getting snared and flashes before he gets feared. Yes.
What an excellent box placement there. He forced Talon to flash or get feared and potentially die against
he would have died, without a doubt. LeBlanc's chain also snaring him if he didn't flash would have been detrimental to his lane. And yes, Rumble being a great pickup by Artifacts against Renekton. Renekton is really good at having the harass, and he's good against most top laners, especially like Jace or an Irelia, because they have the mana. And he has the sustain with his Q. Thresh landing down on Leona.
That Leona engaged.
And look at that exhaust on the Graves, like keeping the Graves at bay. Oh, but the Shaco getting caught out. Shaco getting caught out by the Talon, and the Amumu goes down to Amumu. Graves is able to pick up the kill. Does he get the double? Oh, Corki, Valkyrie's just in time.
That Valk definitely saved him. Yeah,
Yes.
if it would have been any other AD carry without that disengage, without that mobility, total loss.
Right. So Artifacts getting the early lead, similar to what they did last game. Talon getting an early kill, or excuse me, it went to Amumu, but Talon getting help in early kills. He gets an assist. Right. Now this top lane is proving very fair because it's all cooldown based. Neither of the champions have mana. So it's just all cooldown.
Yeah, they both have a unique resource that they manage.
Absolutely. Both actually, when they maintain above 50% of either their energy or rage bar, that they actually do bonus damage or bonus abilities, where Renekton has a longer stun, or his double dash where he actually reduces armor or increases damage of his AoE Q, and I think it also expands
heals a lot more too when it has that above.
Oh, right there. Talon looking at going in, even though he was not level 6. If Mumu was not there, Rumble
nice
getting
Rumble
the disengage. Yes, very good disengage, leading him to safety. Rumble did have to flash, but using his ult did get him to safety away from the Shaco gank.
Without it, I'm not convinced that even the flash would have made him get away, though.
Oh, no. Renekton having his double dash, and he had his ignite ticking. He only needed just a little bit more, maybe an auto attack, maybe the Shiv from the Shaco to go down. Now, with the early kill on Shaco, it surprisingly keep him behind, because he had a little bit more farm than the Amumu going into it, but then after several ganks and the death, Amumu has caught a lead.
Ooh, nice trade.
Good trade going into the mid lane. Both assassins doing decent work against one another. Renekton's starting to put out that damage.
Talon used that gap close to good effect, but LeBlanc was able to force him to back off a little bit.
Amumu goes in for the counter gank, which is in reply to the Shaco gank. Renekton now having to respect it and flash away. Looks like nothing more else is going to happen because Rumble's ult is still down.
But Renekton's definitely going to miss out on that CS experience there.
Absolutely. He might either hang back by the turret or, because his teleport is down, just kind of sit and wait around in lane because he can't just go back, buy, heal, and then come back immediately.
I like Renekton's build here. He's trying to build a little bit more tanky. That's that early giant spell. That could be useful.
I want to say a good reasoning behind that, as we've seen in the last games, is you need at least 2 tanks. You need some sort of front line when the enemy team is providing such a big source of AoE and engage. Where, like I had mentioned before, you were actually absent, but Artifacts, they have the Amumu engage and AoE ult, then a Leona AoE ult, and then the Rumble AoE ult damage and slow. And it's such a big team fight sort of solidification in the damage field and also in the team fight field. So with that, We Them Boys has to respect it and have some sort of front line and some sort of tankiness. So they have the Thresh and they have a Shaco jungle, so they don't have a tanky jungle like Sejuani or Hecarim or a possible Jarvan. They have a Shaco, so they have damage. So you need some more tank. So they have to put that on the Renekton rather than Renekton rushing like a Brutalizer for more damage. Because they need some sort of front line besides the Thresh to kind of keep the enemy engagers or carries at bay if they're trying to come in and assassin like the Talon.
Talon being a melee champion is showing his disadvantage against that LeBlanc with that farm deficit. He's 20. He's almost 20 beneath LeBlanc right now, and that's probably going to prove detrimental to him. Although how detrimental we'll see in the future. But.
Absolutely, he does have the early armor pen, and LeBlanc also did kind of counter it with added bonus armor. So not actually seeing what her rooms are. Oh, going in for the burst.
Ooh.
Still caught both sides of Talon's ult, so she lost that trade. If she had distortioned before his ult had actually initiated, then they would have been able to get it. Oh, the Rush going in for the hook, and the heal goes out, saves the Leona. Man, Leona being a wonderful counter to the Thresh, and Talon going down to the Shaco alone. We see fights and skirmishes going all across the map. Good Rumble ult to the Renekton. Anything else going to happen? It looks like Rumble might get him. He's got a slow. He's got damage. He turns.
Those
Minions
harpoons.
tanking. Oh, no.
He decided it wasn't worth it, I suppose.
LeBlanc going for the roam, not looking like it's going to catch anything. So what was surprising enough is Talon and LeBlanc had a skirmish in the mid lane. Both got moderately low. And then LeBlanc played it super passive, like that was the end of it, and totally baited out Talon pushing and farming his minion wave, where Shaco was able to deceive in and finish off the kill on Talon. It was a very impressive play by We Them Boys.
It looks like they're getting ready to do an early jungle, or I'm sorry, an early dragon, or at least scout it out a little bit. We see Artifacts is moving into position down here. We have bot lane definitely in a position. Amumu was there, but I guess he's moving off now. He just wanted to secure that scuttlebug real quick.
Yes. Yeah, Graves at this point, he went for the early pickaxe. Now when you do that, it's good and bad for different reasons when you're going into the bot lane. So when he got the early double kill, or excuse me, he just got 1 kill. They missed the second kill on Corki. He was able to Valkyrie away. But when he got the early kill and the bonus gold above the enemy AD carry, being the Corki, he could either stayed in lane or bot.
Hook.
Yes, that's definitely trying to stop him from backing and buying, so making sure that actually the Corki would be above the Graves if Graves just had a pickaxe and Corki had the Phage. But having the pickaxe, it gives you a little bit of extreme early laning phase, like power over the enemy AD carry, but the big damage item, the main core that you need for the early game is that BF sword, getting into that Infinity Edge. And when you spend 875 gold picking up that pickaxe for 25 attack damage, it slows down your next build. Then you want to get that BF sword, going into trades, and
I see what you're saying.
Slower on that one.
That extra damage often isn't worth taking away from that eventual BF sword because it's just going to take you longer to get there. Yeah, you're right.
Absolutely. So typically, when you get an early advantage like that, when it's only 1 kill, you would usually see some brawler, if you would, some sort of Shaco going for the outplay.
Wow.
Shaco going hard, but the Talon jukes. See, at that point, We Them Boys played that very incorrectly. Talon thought that she was going. Or excuse me, LeBlanc thought that Talon was going exactly where Shaco was, so she went to double distortion, in that direct path where she should have gone up in the other direction. Because if Talon came back up invisible where Shaco was, then Shaco would have secured the kill. So I think LeBlanc was just being a little bit greedy at that point because she doesn't have any kills and she doesn't have any assists.
It was also, I also felt that there was a little bit of respect for Talon as well, because she realized that Talon could potentially burst down Shaco without her there. That's what she's concerned about. But admittedly, I think greed was most of it.
I think greed of it, let's just say, dang, that girl thirsty.
That's a true story. We are seeing this happen mostly because I can tell, God, what a great hook that was.
Max range hook. You know, even being behind, that bot lane Thresh making some plays. Amumu having to throw his, the chain's going down, Talon going, and shuts down the Shaco.
And LeBlanc is in a bad
LeBlanc is
position.
low on mana, so LeBlanc is in a very bad place. Is she going to try to juke it with the distortion play? Oh no, she flashes out. Maybe, oh no, not close.
He's on the correct one.
And she doesn't have any mana, so she cannot distortion again. So with his Bandage Toss landing, damage is down.
Perfect. You could see that Amumu was waiting for Talon to get close enough to EQ in.
Absolutely. Good hook again.
Oh,
now Corki
boy.
sadly missing the Phosphorus Bomb, so the hook was for
This is an example of this Thresh this is an example of Materia understanding exactly everything there is to know about that hook, because he's, like you said, he was able to hit it at max range. He's able to hit it in strange situations, in crazy positions, through turrets, wherever it's needed. He will hit it and he'll get you. If you're not careful, you just got to watch for it at all times.
Right. So surprisingly enough, I think that this game is really, really right now in the hands of Artifacts. Weedem Boys is definitely on the weaker side of the spectrum as far as team fight goes. None of their solo lanes are really skyrocketing ahead. The only kill is on the Shaco from when he outplayed the Talon. And no one on Weedem Boys got the assist. So at this point, you know, Renekton isn't necessarily snowballing on Rumble. Bot lane isn't, you know, necessarily having a huge advantage with the Corki being a counter to Graves, or the LeBlanc being the monster of solo queue that she is. Shaco going in, trying to focus the Amumu, surprisingly, getting some good burst on and falling eventually. But Shaco did get the kill on Amumu. It looks like his clone blowing up was able to execute the Amumu. So jungle for jungle at that point, but the kill once again going to the Shaco. And Talon getting the kill for the mid lane.
Yeah, I really think Renekton's at a disadvantage here because, as you can see here, we have Rumble with that early hunting guys with that extra magic penetration, and that's definitely doing work against this Renekton. Because although he's got that MR item, that item is building probably into a Spirit Visage, if I know him.
Yes, the Spectre's Cowl.
The Spectre's Cowl, right? He's building it in, and although that will mitigate some of that magic pen somewhat, it's still going to make sure that Rumble does serious damage.
See, now at this point, Renekton had a very late ult. When he was face-to-face with Rumble for a good 4 seconds, he should have already popped his ult, because it gives him good AoE damage, and it also provides him with the tankiness health. But the burst, he flipped up, and it looks like his health is going to be enough, and he does get the free kill on Rumble. Even though, in my opinion, was a little bit of a slight misplay at first, does pay off for him. And Shaco is quickly there to follow up and take that top tower. And Renekton does have his teleport up. Rumble does not, so it looks like right here, Weedem Boys is actually able to make a dragon play if they react at it fast enough. So that's why Artifacts is actually kind of close in on it and try to get it early before Weedem Boys can actually do anything.
Renekton really played to his strengths there. He has that ability to tower dive like few other champions really can.
Right. Okay, and Artifacts picking up the very first dragon of the game. And missing the bandage cost, sadly. So we got Shaco roaming in. There's the Talon for the burst. Deceives. Talon read it.
Yeah, he did. And
he read the deceive.
This Talon is really doing work out here. This and the Shaco needs to, he needs to pay a little bit better attention to that Talon, especially because that Talon, he's understanding how his champion works, and he's not being fooled by the misdirections that the Shaco's using.
Right. Well, Shaco, in his own defense, actually did not have any vision in that ward where Talon was actually sitting and waiting for some sort of a response for the dragon play to kind of blow someone up with his early damage. He has the Vamp Scepter for a little bit of sustain. He has the Brutalizer for the armor pen, and then he has the Mobos for him being able to run around and assassinate any sort of squishy character that he finds out of place.
You know, I want to move back to something we were talking about earlier. Early in the conversation, we were talking about Graves going for that pickaxe instead of waiting for that eventual BF sword, and I think it's costing him now because if you look at Corky, Corky's got his Trinity Force already.
Absolutely.
And that is a core item for a Corky. That is a perfect item for him. It scales off of everything that he does, and I think that puts him over the Graves right now.
Right now, yes. Until Graves hits the IE and Graves gets some sort of auto attack, or excuse me, some attack speed, Corky will be ahead of him in damage output because he does have the ability power scaling on the Trinity Force. He does have the Sheen proc, which is so strong on Corky with his Trinity Force, him being able to just throw an alt out every 2 seconds and then just hit that auto attack afterwards for some huge bursts. And if it crits with the Zeal in it, then it's a huge damage spike for Corky. And with the tower down, Rumble has nowhere to go. He throws his ult down trying to blow out the Shaco, but his harpoon sadly hitting minions instead of the Shaco. Looks like he might fall. Shaco just needs a deceive. Does he get the crit? He gets the crit and the shiv, and the kill goes to Renekton.
Renekton with that big burst.
Yes. See, now Renekton was, it was a slow build, because Renekton is usually a lane bully in the early game, and he wasn't snowballing early enough, but he did get the kill on the Rumble before in the tower dive, and the second kill right there. So the Renekton pick is going to be a very strong front line leading in for Weedem Boys into the mid game.
I really don't. One thing about Renekton is he's going to have to capitalize on that advantage really quickly because I think that he.
Oh, LeBlanc Snare going in with the thresh hook in the box in the flay. Graves getting bursted, but then the Amumu ult turn around and the Graves AoE. This right here is exactly what I was talking about for the team fight. You saw the Leona ult, you saw the Graves ult. All the AoE damage in the burst is just really going out. The Renekton trying to go ham. He does pick up the kill. Shaco going in for the assist. Is he going to try to go in for the Amumu? Oh, the Renekton being such a strong front line with all of it. And the Shaco pass, or excuse me, the Shaco ult going out.
And Shaco's clone dies and does a ton of damage. Renekton's run out of his Renekton's ult has run out.
The one thing that Spectator Mode did not pick up is Talon crept around the red side jungle and picked up a double kill on the squishies and gets the triple kill on the shutdown of the Renekton. Artifacts now just super ahead as far as rolling into mid game. That was the first 5v5 team fight that we saw. We saw teleports go down, we saw ultimates being used, and we really saw the difference as far as the team composition with Artifacts carrying with that Amumu ultimate on top of the Leona ultimate. The Graves collateral damage being fired right on top of it. And even though Talon was late, still came in and blew up the remaining squishies that just barely got out of all the lockdown.
He's using a lot of that mobility that Talon's really famous for and that his kit is designed to provide to him. So we have 5 seconds.
Until the Baron's up. We got the 20-minute mark.
And we're still waiting on Dragon to come back, but it looks like both teams are getting in position. We have reached the 2-minute mark for Dragon. And we got lots of ward coverage here. They're trying to take out that pink ward.
Okay, so not much happening really here right now. We see lanes kind of pushing around, farming, pushing them out, but no real skirmishes, which is surprising. Today, this far in the tournament, we have not seen this much as a break, so much at the 20-minute mark as far as for teams kind of settling back and really focusing. I imagine right now what's going through Weedem Boys' heads is saying, okay, guys, we definitely we have to respect their team fight. You know, even with Thresh landing the hook, because Thresh had the perfect engage on Graves. He landed the Death Sense, he landed the box and the flay and got him down to under 300 health. Graves had to use heal, but then the Amumu was there to follow up, the Leona was there to follow up. And, you know, Weedem Boys just got everything thrown right back in their face. So after having the ideal engage, and they're saying, hey, we still lost that. They have to respect it, they have to ward out, they have to split with Renekton and Shaco. Shaco being one of the strongest split pushers in the game. They really have to, you know, work something around their comp as far as saying, hey, we need to draw 2 people to one side lane while they're split pushing, and then try to push down other towers.
Quite right, and we're also seeing